Hello, everybody, once again, and welcome to Straight Bat with Golf News and Mr. Cricket UAE and Sharjah. Well, there are close matches and then there are close matches, especially one that should have been done at halftime. It was a bit of a real scare for KKR today. Anis, I'll let you say hi and then we'll go through the match.
Hi, Matt. Hello, Sham. Hello, happy Abhijit and Sahil and a disappointed Maz. Well, this match, as you mentioned, should have gone one way when it began in the second innings. Delhi were cruising and they had a brain freeze. And like the great Sunil Gavaskar always says, and he kept on saying during commentary, when you are set, make sure you finish the games, and especially on wickets like Sharjah. It's not easy when you come into bat later. And they almost gave away a gift to Delhi, but they had Tripathi probably to have better sense and hit that six. Otherwise, probably it would have been Mass smiling here and Abhijit probably tearing his hair apart.
Yeah, Sham, obviously you're at the stadium. What was it like there?
Oh, I mean, it is absolutely the match turned on its head. Yeah. In fact, I was pretty much getting ready to finish my copy and getting ready for an 8-wicket win, actually. So from 122 for 2, it came down to 130 for 7. I swear, and I had completely reworked my copy. So it tells me how the match panned out. Like Anis said, it was just a brain freeze, nothing else. And these are professional cricketers. They have been in these situations any number of times. And time and again, they just lose their head. And that is something inexplicable. That is what pressure does. Pressure does to the best of players. I mean, it just freezes them out. And you see collapse like this, which is why T20 matches are always interesting. And you cannot call a match till the last over or till the last ball in this case.
Yeah, it was the final ball. Maz, I mean, obviously, when you saw duck after duck after duck, I think there was 4 in a row on that scorecard. You must have thought maybe your luck was in.
Definitely. I mean, it was at a time in the 70th over, Avish Khan's over, it looked like Delhi just gave up and Ashwin just dropped a catch and they all were looking very dead. But the comeback that Rabada gave, 2 or 3 runs over and a wicket.
One run.
One run, in fact. 3 runs was from Nokia's over. So that 2 over just changed the game entirely. And it was not a day for nails and hearts, to be honest. I was sitting on the edge of my seat and I was like, we are back in the game. I left my phone. I stopped tweeting. I was like, I have to play. I have to focus. And yeah, it was a very, very good match towards the end. So, but at the end of the day, it's KKR who is in the finals. But very proud of Delhi Capitals. Throughout the season, they have played amazing cricket. Yeah, a little bit of hiccup in the last few matches. But to be honest, the last 3 matches, it was not a one-sided game. RCB match, Bharat playing the last ball, hitting the 6. Last previous match with CSK was Dhoni's heroics. And this game, as we saw, it was Rahul Tripathi in the last. So it was not a bad performance, but yeah, not in the finals.
And Abhijit, obviously, as Maz was just saying there, these games are getting more and more thrilling as we get to the business end. KKR got one more trick up their sleeve as they go into the final?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a shared belief that we all fan have, and we backed our team. I was expecting them to be in the final, to be honest, like from the day one they stepped into UAE. So they actually turned the table around, and it's just last one more game, and we are holding the trophy. So yeah.
Okay, and Sahil, welcome. Long time no see, Sahil. Delusions of grandeur there from Abhijit, or do you think they have a chance against the? I mean, because Chennai have also had their wobbles, so it is one match. I mean, is this going to be unpredictable, or do you have a firm favorite?
Of course, the Knight Riders have a chance. Abhijit has all the right to brag. You know, they have won 7 out of 9 games since the time they've come in. That's no joke. You know, they were 7th when they came to Dubai. So the Knight Riders have all the bragging rights, and it's not going to be a CSK. Like, CSK are not favorites for sure. It's totally equal. The way the Knight Riders have come into the halfway this tournament, full credit to them, and they should have won today. Yes, they made their lives harder by themselves. You know, the 2 seniors, I would blame these 2 seniors, Captain Morgan and Dinesh Karthik. You know, these guys have to step up. They cannot keep playing this cricket, and they cannot say it happens like, you know, in the big game. No, these guys are experienced players, and, you know, that's the thing. But they have reached, and now it's going to be a cracker of a final.
Okay, and I think Satish has joined us. Are you there, Satish?
Yeah.
Hi, Satish.
Sorry for
All
being
right,
late. Sorry.
that's okay. As our Chennai boy, I think you want to respond to that. How do you see that?
Even
Do you wave your
I
hand?
was a bit taken aback when Sahil didn't back Chennai. A hardcore fan more than me. No, jokes apart, I think Kolkata has had two very close games. Number one, they played in in Sharjah, which was tailor-made for their bowlers. Now in Dubai, it could not be the same wicket. The wicket could be different. It might not spin the way it is done here, though these are slow wickets. The difference is in the bounce. The Sharjah is a slow wicket, which will have a lower bounce, which will help the spinners of KKR, whereas in Dubai, it will have a slightly higher bounce, even though the ball is slow. So that makes a huge difference in terms of playing the spinner. But again, just to go back, had Delhi accelerated their knock a little bit earlier in the innings instead of playing it too safely, and that 10-15 runs could have made a big difference. But having said that, huge credit to KKR for having reached the final. It is again, like I've been telling this, the top three batsmen have been scoring runs. Once the top three have been removed, the middle order is pretty weak. So in a final like this, it is going to be very difficult. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the final, and as any would day, I would say I would go back Chennai.
Okay, and I'll just open it up now, guys, for anything else that anyone wants to add. I mean, obviously, Pant failed again. We looked like we had another easy game, but now, like we just mentioned shortly there before, there's been some right nail biters in the last few games, and hopefully we can get one more in the final.
You see, Matt, this wickets in Sharjah were so difficult to bat. So, like you mentioned, that Delhi were slow, or like Satish mentioned, they scored less. But mind you, when KKR came on to bat, batting was much easier. The ball was coming on to the bat like a football. And the way the openers got off to the start, Delhi were struggling when they were opening. They just somehow managed to reach that score thanks to late hitting by Shreyas Iyer and to that no ball which Varun Chakravarti bowled. Otherwise, that Hetmyer wouldn't have been able to hit 2 sixes. But there are no ifs and buts. But having said that, what I am not happy about Delhi is they're changing players. In the last 4 games, they've changed 4 players. Let me remind you, in the last match, they replaced Tom Curran. With this match, they had Stoinis, who came back after a hamstring injury. Now, I understand he's a big match player, but it's a big risk. And you saw him, he was in the massage room. Then before Tom Curran, you had Ripal Patel. Then before Ripal Patel, you had that offie from Delhi. I can't remember his name. 4 changes in the last 5 games. It's asking for too much. Whereas you see CSK, they stick to their core player. Barring Suresh Raina, they took Robin Uthappa and they backed him in spite of 2 failures. Correct. And then he delivered. So these are small things which I'm sure Delhi will learn. Ponting is an experienced campaigner. He's won a couple of World Cups for Australia. It's just that to getting their act, this is a young side. They must be deflated today, but I'm sure next time they would be lucky and they would cross the hurdle.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Anything to add there? I mean, I just think otherwise we can wrap it up. I think that's.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Delhi are exhibiting the traits of a classic choking. Big match, you choke at the hurdle. I mean, this has been what we've been seeing even last year also. They came to the final and were completely blown away in the final. I think they will need one major win under their belt before they, start delivering on especially on the or especially in knockout games, especially.
Mm-hmm.
I think the captaincy also came into the picture, isn't it? Like Morgan's captaincy versus Pant captaincy. I think that's where that difference came in also, Sham, isn't it?
No, you're bang on. That's very, very true, actually. Because the way Morgan was bringing the changes, and I mean, no, you wouldn't expect Pants to be in the same class in the sense like first major captaincy.
Correct.
Yeah, maybe. I in fact even thought Nokia should have been in the game a little earlier than what you did.
And I think as Mr. Anis said, it's a good.
You can't expect drop catches in such a slow-scoring game.
Correct. Absolutely, Anis, right.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're coming down to the final ball, these tiny little things can prove to be absolutely vital. So yeah, I think we can wrap it up there, guys, unless anyone has anything vital to say. We
Sahil, who's going to win? CSK or KKR? Come on, now you have both favorite teams.
All right.
Put your
Okay,
hand up for one team. You can't put both hands.
Okay, we'll do the rounds then. Sham, who's
Sahil.
going to win?
Come on, everybody put up their hands. Sahil, who do we say is going to win?
I don't know. I had written for Gulf News CSK.
I'm a huge SRK fan, so it's always going to be KKR winning it. They won against Chennai in 2012, so history will repeat.
Yeah,
Maz? Satish, you said CSK. Sham?
Yeah, I mean, CSK looks formidable, but I think Calcutta will win simply because they seem to be lucky. They seem to be pulling off, last gap wins. Maybe even the final could be a last gap win.
You never
don't-
know, Sham. You might
I
not be
don't know.
third time lucky.
I don't know.
Never know.
Matt, you are the neutral guy. You have to say, pick up.
I tipped RCB at the start, but I also strongly fancied Chennai. I thought they would do quite well. They've been through that wobble. They got a good win last time, and I think that they might get over the line.
Well, just like how
Thank you.
RCB is out, CSK will be too.
Right, boys,
right.
I shall wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here at Gulf News and Straight Back, Mr. Cricket UAE. As usual, you can log on to golfnews.com for all our reviews, analysis, previews, and obviously our live coverage as well. And we shall see you on Friday for the final.